Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today is currently the 1st of January 2025. Where on earth did 2024 go? I feel like I blinked and now we're here in a new year, and I want to start off the year the way I hope to continue, which is with more book content and I guess just kind of like documenting things a bit more than I did last year, because that just makes me really happy to look back on things. I'm very nostalgic, so having the things to look back on is ideal in my eyes. So in today's video I wanted to go through my TBR for January and kind of talk you through the books I've picked for this month and why, I guess, or if there's no reason, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm a bit rusty, so bear with me. First of all, I wanted to go through the books for the Grimoire Club, which is the book club with myself, my sister, and my brother-in-law. So my sister has picked Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty. I believe this author wrote Big Little Lies, and that's the main reason why she picked this book, because we freaking love that TV series, and this book honestly sounds super interesting. It is a mystery thriller. Based off the little bit I know about it, it seems to be these people are on a flight, and while they're on the flight they learn how and when they're going to die, and for some of them their death is like far in the future, and some of them it is a much shorter life. There's one passenger in particular who is telling these passengers how they're going to die, and as the people who were going to die the soonest pass away, the other passengers kind of come back to the deaf lady, and I assume that's kind of where it goes off. But it sounds so interesting, and if it's anything twisty and turny like Big Little Lies is, cannot wait, honestly. How good. My brother-in-law Mike, he has picked Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and Mike picked this book in possibly October or November last year, and it was such a fun experience. So we all listened to the audiobook and it was so immersive. There were gun sounds and tanker tracks and vehicle noises. It sounded like you were listening to a movie, and it's basically the apocalypse has happened and Carl has gone outside as it happens because his cat Donut wanted to go to the bathroom, so he took the cat outside, and as he's outside, this is book one, as he's outside, all the buildings around him collapse and they create like kind of this AI, I guess, has created the dungeon. The goal is to get to the bottom of the dungeon, and it's basically like the aliens have taken over Earth and so on and so forth. And Carl is with his cat Donut, who finds the ability to speak as well, because it kind of is video game style. It is so cool. Like, the concept of it was so much fun. I actually listened to it with my husband as we road tripped this summer and we absolutely loved it. So I'm really excited to read the next one this month, and I'm really happy that he picked that. I've got no idea where it's going. I assume it's just going to pick off right where we left off in the last book, which will be really cool because I keep thinking about it. So yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl, book 2, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. The book I picked for book club this month is called These Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, and honestly I don't know anything about this. I kind of googled book club books of 2024 because I assumed there would be some that we hadn't read in the Grimoire Club, because we kind of teetered on and off doing it this year, last year, because my sister and her husband are traveling. So yeah, I kind of just went to the old Google, the old TikTok, and this one came up so much. So this is also a mystery thriller, and based on the blurb, it's a father and daughter who have been like kind of living off grid for 8 years, and they have a friend that visits them every winter to give them supplies to survive through the next year or so, and this guy doesn't show up. So it kind of has a chain of events from this point where there's now a stranger, I think, that comes onto their land or like the woods that they live in, and yeah, it just sounded really interesting, and I'm kind of been feeling like a thriller vibe lately, so I'm quite excited about that one, to be honest. I hope it's good. Then my sister and I have done our sister swap, so we always pick a book for each other for the month, and usually we pick something that either we want to read but are too scared to start it, or I usually force her to like continue series or something like that. or we picked books that we really loved reading recently and we know that they would love it too, but they just need that extra push to actually put it on their TBR and read it. So that's what she's done for me this month, and she's picked Down the Drain by Julia Fox, which is a memoir about Julia Fox. Cass said that it was so good and she just binge read it, and yeah, so I'm quite excited about that because usually my sister's recommendations are top tier every single time. Now for the rest of my TBR, I think that was 4 books on my TBR for Grimoire Club and Sister Swap. So I've picked a TBR for up to 10 books, which hopefully will give me a bit of wiggle room to pick something up that I really want to read or that comes up or releases this month, which I need to look up what books are releasing because I've actually not added any of those to my TBR so far, but that's why I kind of picked 10 as a good number for wiggle room. So I've decided that this year, but let's just see how we go because a year is ambitious, and last year I picked like a 24 of 24 books I wanted to read, and I will never be doing that again because I was very motivated in the beginning and then I completely fell off a bandwagon because I don't want to read stuff I picked like over a year ago anymore. There's new and shiny things, like we can't be having this. So anyway, back to what I was saying, which was I have decided for the year, or at least for this month, that I want to finish some freaking series. I am a serial don't finish the series girly. Like I get to the last book and then I just walk away, but I want to know what happens, but I don't want to leave the world. So anyway, I am determined to try and tick off a bunch of series this month or this year because I have far too many. With that said, I have picked every single book remaining on my TBR is a series that I need to finish. So the first one I've picked is Rally, which is the 3rd book in the Treasure State Wildcats series by Devney Perry. This book follows the quarterback on the football team, and I think it's like the pregnancy trope, which you kind of learn a tiny teensy weeny bit about in the first 2 books, but these are interconnected standalones, so you can read them on their own or you can read them one after the other. I do think the timelines are a little bit like you don't have to read them chronologically type thing. But yeah, I'm very excited about these. These are kind of like lollipop reads for me, so I don't normally rate them more than 3 stars, but I really enjoy reading them, so that they're just a bit of fun. So I'm very excited for this one. The next book I've picked is Throne of Secrets by Kerry Maniscalco, and this is the 2nd book in the Prince of Sin series, and I loved the first book so much. This one recently released, I think. Possibly has been a fair few months now, but I'm very excited. I just got it on Audible and I can't wait to listen to it because normally her audiobooks are very great experiences, to be honest. There's usually like some music and just like spooky vibes, which fantasy, why not? So this one in particular follows the Prince of Gluttony, and I do think that her original series, which I cannot remember the name of right now, let me look it up, Kingdom of the Wicked. So this followed, I believe, the Prince of Wrath or the King of Wrath, and now we're getting all his brothers. So I'm freaking obsessed with that concept. Throne of Secrets follows the King of Gluttony, and that's literally all I know. I loved the first one. It was sexy and fun and mysterious, and I just had the best time reading it, so I'm very excited to keep going with this one. Then I didn't realize I've done this, but I have picked Sunlight, which is the 2nd book in the Haven River Ranch series by Devney Perry. I didn't realize I picked 2 of hers, but clearly I need to finish her series. So again, this is interconnected standalones. The first book I believe was called Crossroads. It was very cutesy and country and fun and cowboy, and I love all those things. This follows the brother, I believe, from the first book and his love interest, and it looks like it might be kind of like workplace romance maybe. It sounds like this girl is like a worker on the ranch or something, but anyway, really fun vibes. And I remember distinctly Pinteresting for the first book and I was having the time of my life. I absolutely loved it with everything inside me. I'm excited to keep going because part of my whole reading experience is also Pinteresting the vibes of the book. I have so much fun doing that. Next book on my list is kind of oddball, kind of left field, out of the blue for me. This one is called Vengeance of the Pirate Queen, which is the last book, I believe, in Daughter of the Pirate King series. This series is by Trisha Levenseller, and I read the Daughter of the Pirate King years ago now, and it was just kind of like out on, you know, pirates are me hearty. The kind of like high stakes, she's kind of surviving on her own. Her dad got kidnapped, and I think, gosh, this is really testing the old memory. I think that's what happened anyway, and a whole bunch of stuff happened in the first 2 books. She's like the daughter of him, and then her mum's, I don't want to spoil it, her mum is like something she wasn't expecting. So I assume the book continues to be about her, but maybe not. It could just be about the mother herself, so who knows? The second to last book I've got on my TBR is Love Boat Forever, which is the 3rd book in the Love Boat Taipei series. The series actually got made into a TV series, I think, but I've not watched it. Basically, all of these students come from across the world and they go to Love Boat, and I think it's like a school or something, or like a summer program. And it's just kind of like prep school vibes. It's kind of, I would say it's like Gossip Girl mixed in with Crazy Rich Asians. That's what would be my, I think. Anyway, it's been a few years again since I've read the other 2 books, but I'm quite excited about this. Again, I think Pinteresting for this board will be really fun, because when I'm reading it, I feel like I'm just there, and I would love to go there. I think it will be so fun. And the last book in my TBR for this month is Better Than Prom, which is the novella for Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Honestly, I don't really know what happened in the first book anymore because it's been a while. I know I rated it 5 stars because the vibes were immaculate. Actually, it's all coming back to me. I thought I'd pick a little novella, and I'm hoping that if I really like it, I can go straight into Nothing Like the Movies, which is the 2nd book in the series, and then I can just be done with that one. Yay, tickaroony. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I can stay quite motivated with this TBR and keep pushing through my series. I'm also hoping that I can get to a few more series as well and kind of just tick those off, because the more series I can tick off, the better. I don't want to be like this. And there are definitely some that I have been avoiding. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what is on your TBR, or what book you're most excited for to come out this month or even this year, because it's a new year. What the heck? I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!